Mobo planks. People love to do planks, but life isn't static, it's dynamic. So what we're gonna do, you're gonna put your fins in the even slots. You're gonna grab your board in both hands and aim to keep your upper body quiet. And you're gonna take your knee to your opposite elbow, and then we're gonna take your feet up so you extend your hips. We're gonna do 10 rounds through. So each round is knee to elbow, extend one hip, extend opposite hip, and that's one round for 10 times through. Thinking about keeping your core nice and stable, making sure your hips are in line with your shoulders, that you don't let your back sag. Mobo shoulder extensions. Your fins are set on the even slots 2 and 4. You are going to stand up on your board, and the key thing here is to make sure we're building proper posture awareness. So a lot of us have a tendency to dump into the low back. We're gonna make sure we keep the chest dropped in front so that you keep nice set position with the equal weight over the ball of the foot and the heel. You're gonna take your arms, you're gonna drive them back into your hips, and you're gonna hold one as we alternate back and forth. Again, key thing here, we're focusing on making sure we keep your shoulder blades squeezed together, like you're pulling your right shoulder blade back into your left hip and your left shoulder blade back into your right hip. We're gonna do 10 reps each side, and we're gonna drop down and we're gonna switch our fins. Again, staying in the even slots, it's the opposite foot. Going back, grabbing our handles. Again, focusing on even weight through the whole foot. Hands driving into hips. Again, the goal for this is high repetition. So we're doing 10 reps on each side, on each foot. So when you set your attention, how far back you are from the attachment point, make sure that it's something we can actually sustain and not something you're going to fatigue and have to have the shoulder blades round forward. Mobo tippy bird lat rows. You're gonna get your board with your fins and your even slots, and you're gonna hinge into a T with the ground, and you're gonna take your hands and pull them back. So the goal here is to pull your elbows into your hips while you're trying to keep your spine nice and long and stable. You want your foot quiet and squeezing shoulder blades back into the hips. We're gonna do 10 reps. And you're gonna drop the bands. You're gonna switch your fins to the opposite side. You're still gonna keep the even slots 2 and 4, but switch feet. Opposite foot goes back up on the board. Again, drop into your pike. Same thing, elbows behind hips. Drawing back and down with a solid, stable foot, making sure not to round your back, and keep the focus in your shoulder blades. For the Mobo press and row, you're going to set your board up with the fins in the even slots. You're going to attach a band to a door or some other object you have nice and sturdy, and you're gonna grab a weight. Can be a kettlebell, can be a dumbbell, can be a gallon of water. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna make sure you keep your chest dropped so that it's evenly split between the ball of the foot and the heel. Trying to keep the Mobo nice and stable as you row back in with one arm and we press the opposite arm overhead. A lot of us tend to wanna arch our back as we press overhead. We wanna resist that urge and learn to keep our body nice and stable and solid. After you do 10 reps, you're gonna pop your fins out. You're gonna flip to the opposite side. Again, fins stay in the 2 and 4 slots. And grab your kettlebell, water, or any other heavy object you got around the house. Step back on and same thing opposite side. Make sure you row, arm goes into chest, opposite arm goes overhead, trying to keep the foot and the upper body nice, solid, and stable. So the Mobo 3-point star, what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your band and you're gonna loop it through the forward hole in your Mobo in the number 1 slot. And then you're gonna stand on your board, so your fins are in the 2 and 4 slots, and the band is pulling through the number 1 slot. And you're basically gonna hinge forward into a tippy bird, right? And you're gonna make a 3-pointed star. So we're gonna want arms and trailing leg to basically rise up to you're in a position of a T. So we're making sure we keep our shoulder blades nice and flat along our body and don't bring our shoulder blades up towards our ears. Keeping the board nice and stable, focusing on alignment. I'm gonna do 10 reps. And you're gonna take your board, you're gonna flip it over, so that your fins are gonna be in the same even slots again, and you don't have to readjust your band. Your band can stay in that same number 1 slot. You're gonna put your right foot back up on the board, and same movement. Making sure we keep our shoulder blades nice and flat on our body, focusing on a nice, strong, stable foot. The instability is there for the challenge. You're always looking where your chest is, so make sure you don't look up in front of you. If your chest is pointing down, your head's pointing down.